So, here we are. Welcome to our exclusive first ever podcast live at the RecFest.
Rec Hub at RecFest.
Rec Hub at RecFest. This is also not only Rec Hub's first time at RecFest, this is my first ever event.
It is your first ever event.
I've never done an event before. Very excited. We have, not that you'll be able to see it, we have a 360 Hollywood style, Oscars style 360 photo booth, which is going down really, really well.
We've brought the vibes.
Pure vibes. Probably can hear the vibes. We also have popcorn machines.
Popcorn.
Legend.
You can't go to Hollywood. You can't do anything movie related without some popcorn, right?
Exactly. See? Popcorn.
So today it's going to be a little bit different, isn't it? Because this is our first RecFest, but also our first live podcast.
Absolutely.
So throughout the day, we're going to be talking to various people. We're going to bring them over, get their thoughts on the day.
We're doing lots of different things on the podcast where we're going to be talking to people who have been on stage and speaking in different tents. We're going to be speaking to some of our partners that are coming along.
Absolutely.
Really excited to see a whole bunch of people. We've got meetings lined up all day. And hopefully we're just going to have a bit of fun.
Absolutely.
I don't know when's too early, but have a few beers.
Absolutely.
It's only 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's half five somewhere.
That's the two very different approaches. But yeah, so stay tuned. It's going to be big. It's going to be good. And,
really exciting.
Here we go. We're done. We're in.
Ciao, ciao.
So, Anias, how are you enjoying RecFest?
So far, so good. It's not the best weather, but at least good fun, good attitude.
Did you pack a coat?
No, but I found one at a thrift shop over there.
Amazing. Yeah, I've packed a coat. I thought this could happen. If it rains, I'm ready for it. It's fine. It's not a British festival if it doesn't have a bit of rain anyway.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So, obviously we were just speaking before jumping on the mini podcast. So what are you doing for HelloFresh at the moment?
Good question. So I joined about 6 months ago, so it's still pretty fresh for me. I lead executive talent acquisition, so it's a small team that's working globally across commercial, tech. A lot of what we do is not so much growing the company, adding lots more leaders. That's something that we did in the past years a lot. Now it's capitalizing sort of on talent management, helping the teams with the succession planning, mapping the market, and understanding how we can help and having a more proactive, future-facing recruiting strategy, if you will.
Well, that's actually an interesting point because when it comes to executive recruiting, how important is market mapping and, building talent pools and pipelining for the future with those senior director and above roles?
Yeah, it is actually very important. I think, obviously, I'm going to take a step back. It's always good for leaders to be able to look at their current talents and, promote from within. But sometimes there's just skill sets that don't exist or the company has grown very fast so that there wasn't an opportunity to have a leader ready, in that moment. So for these cases, that's where we come in. And, you're never really... Sometimes it just happens, right? Leaders move on outside of the company, move on internally. You can never know what happens, so it's always good to keep an eye on the market. We realized that kind of being there for leaders that have, looking at their organization, pinpointing where there is potential high risks, pinpointing where there is essentially lack of succession planning. They just come to us. They ask us, hey, can you have a look into the market? And it gives them a lot of confidence. And it helps them make organizational decisions as well. How do we build out this team? Can we build out this team? Should we promote from within? So, we're helping them. We're giving them a big tool for their own organizational design and decision making.
When it comes to promoting from within and succession planning, do you kind of target that as like the first port of call? And like how does HelloFresh try to promote from within to that for that sort of executive level?
Well, I don't think it's rocket science,
no.
Right? The idea is always to see what kind of talent there is, right? Where could they go laterally even, It doesn't necessarily mean a promotion. It means also giving someone the opportunity to do something where their skills could be very easily transferable. If they have a track record in, growing a business, or HelloFresh, for example, has a lot of countries where we just launched, right? So we put we put leaders that maybe just need a little bit more experience into these positions many times, and give them the opportunity to go and hit the ground fast, right? And then they've kind of, put the checkbox, like they tick the checkbox, and they're ready to move on to a different role, right? So that's one of the ways that we can do it. I mean, there isn't always a match, at the time when you see a leader and you're working under career development, right? There isn't always a match right then and there. But of course, using all the, traditional personal development plans, coaching conversations, you can try to, it's always, I think any company I've worked with, and I've worked with Amazon, Facebook in the past, it's hard to pinpoint what skills the talent has and where we can, find the right next step for them.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a map that you need to put together as well. The way that you can do an external talent map, you can also do an internal talent map, and you should be doing that. That's something that my team is doing, but clearly something that will help you figure out, where to get from point A to point B within the company. And yeah.
Well, that's actually, so you have obviously alliances, tribes, squads, following that format. Do you often find that people really start leveling their career and it's like, oh, hang on, we need a new tribe to accommodate this person's career growth? Or do you really let the business dictate their career progression first?
That's a great question. I think, to be honest, it is still very much business driven at this stage.
Yeah.
You wouldn't create a position just because someone is ready for it.
Yeah.
Ideally, that's what you would do. But the reality of the market, the reality of how risk averse some companies just have to be, is there, right? So still very much business driven. But then when there is a business reason to expand, your first step is always looking internally, right?
Yeah, of course. It's funny because obviously when you think about executive talent, you think of the a small group of people at the top of the organization. But in HelloFresh, that's a reasonably sized SME. Just the executive leadership, it's like 200 people.
It's not 100. No. So it can look like that, but in the way that we're set up, we have given our countries a lot of autonomy as well to kind of build, the commercial base of HelloFresh in a specific market from off the ground. And so they have their in-country management teams, and then there's this umbrella, which is more the corporate umbrella that they report into. Sometimes direct line, sometimes dotted line. So it looks like we have a lot of C-levels, but they're actually in-country sort of C-levels management team.
Brilliant. So amazing. And are you looking forward to any particular talks at RecFest?
Well, that's a good question. I'd have to look at the agenda. I have a lot of overlap because, lots of things interest me. I think I see it over there, 100% ChatGPT proof. I do have to ask what this is about. But then again, one of the talks that interests me a lot, or one of the topics is, how can we actually automate things a little bit more? Not in a way that makes the recruiters redundant, but in a way that can help them focus on the right things, especially talent assessment. Like, how do we make sure that someone's a good fit, right? Cultural ad, whatever you name it. Make sure that we can really assess that and their ability to do the job at the end, when you don't have to figure out scheduling, or you don't have to figure out, smaller things that can be easily automated. I think this is always
using technology as an accelerator for your role rather than necessarily replacing you.
Exactly. So when it helps you cut out the small and menial tasks and helps you really focus on the strategic end of it, that the teams cannot do.
Yeah. I mean, ChatGPT, I've seen it can write a really good HR policy for cake in the office, but not necessarily the best for outreach messages.
Yes, you can tell 100% what is a ChatGPT generated message,
100%.
Especially, if you're working, if you're receiving a message that is perhaps for someone whose first language is not English. You can totally notice that.
I mean, it sounds like way nuanced, but I actually find myself leaving in my usual spelling mistakes sometimes, just so people know it's real.
Well, that's a classic, from back when. You remember, we had those templates, we would send them out, and we would, make a little mistake just so people know it's not like, it's an actual... Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
See, it's fun how, with all of this, we still have to find ourselves going over the text or going over whatever AI generates, give it that human touch.
Yeah, definitely. Which is actually, like, the human touch is important at every level. I mean, it's super important when you're dealing with execs.
Yes, yeah.
Definitely.
Now, we've got Andy today, who's the head of resourcing at Restore BLC. So how are you doing, Andy?
Good. Very well. Very well. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, really good. It's a busy event. We've got the camera on the go, which seems really popular. So we'll have to get you on that later.
Yeah, we'll give that a go to the team, I think.
Amazing. We'll get a few beers in you first. Maybe one or two. Yeah. So Andy, what's today all about for the Restore team?
Two things, really. Number one is for us to make sure everyone's getting exposure to the various tech stack that's available in the market. And secondly is some of the amazing talks around diversity, AI. We've seen some fantastic talks earlier on today. Got some more backed up this afternoon. But just taking time out for ourselves to learn about the industry and make sure that we've got new technologies that are on our radar.
Yeah, amazing. And you talk about the technology, which is obviously very important, especially in your position.
Yeah.
What sort of technology are you kind of looking at the moment?
Well, I don't think you ever stop analysing your ATS capability. Anything, or none more so that's important right now is talent pooling.
Yeah.
Get the ability to get really smart with the talent decks that you have. AI is going to play a part. Yeah. Using AI in the right way, not to replace people, but to enhance a process and a service.
Yeah.
And making sure that both your customer experience and your user experience and candidate experience is always being leveled up to the highest degree in order to give a fantastic, seamless service.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, you talk about AI, and you're right, it's not taking over, and I think it's more of an enhancement.
Yeah.
How are you seeing the changes in the market now that AI has come to the forefront, really?
Yeah, it has. And, there's areas of a process or a pipeline that's going to be useful for, and there's going to be areas in the pipeline that's not going to be useful for. Most definitely, it's going to be on those early elements of a pipeline for selection, almost allowing a candidate to deselect out, making that funnel a lot tighter for recruiters. So ensuring that there's more relevancy to the candidates that are coming through.
Yeah.
I still don't believe they will ever replace a person.
No.
From those conversations, it can't. But I think it definitely has its place, assuming it's being used at the right part of the stage.
Amazing. I love that. And AI is here, especially in recruitment, is to enhance and not overtake, which is kind of the mantra now.
Absolutely.
So, final question. Market at the moment, challenging for a lot of organisations.
Yes.
How do you see the market at the moment, and what are you kind of doing to kind of capture great talent into Restore?
Well, there's three main areas that we're concentrating on. We've done some analysis of our suppliers last year, so where we were paying for placements outside of direct sourcing. We've done analysis of that. That gave us three main areas that we're focusing on. From that intel, we're going to start talent pooling, and we're going to start engaging passive markets.
Amazing.
So we probably don't have the right type of opportunities open now, but it's now that we start the conversations.
It's about the future.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. We want to get people interested in Restore, not necessarily that vacancy.
Yeah.
So we're already doing work on that. As with everybody, I would argue, employer brand always needs some work.
Oh, always the big one.
Absolutely. Because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, you're being left behind.
Yeah.
And then making sure that we're reaching out to our candidates in the slickest way possible, but also giving them a true representation of what life is like inside Restore.
Brilliant. Andy, thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
On the podcast, and have a great day.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Cheers. Bye.
Cool. So we're here with Chris Rowe, who's the head of TA at DHU Healthcare. Cheers. Thanks for coming along for a beer.
Thank you very much.
And we've put you on the podcast. So just interested today, we're meeting a number of TA leaders. So what's the vibe today for you? What are you looking to get from RecFest?
Same as always, massive networking opportunity, unleashing TA, loads of excellent talent here. But I think to me, I think this is about learning as well. There's been a few talks I've gone through that are more about how do we disrupt, how do we break, or how do we start to amplify the real good shit that TA should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking around like you breaking stuff in the industry, which I absolutely love in a positive way. So talk to us about some of the stuff that you are trying to break down barriers and do something a bit unique with.
Two things. I think if we think about the sector as a whole, and the work is about end user, so what does patient need from us, and what does the sector need from us? And it's true sustainability, or talent sustainability, which is important, and financial control and financial assurance, which is so important to us. If we consider, the things that we discussed the last few years, of that proliferation of nurses, big agency cultures. I'm spending twice what I should be on something I could be doing myself because we believe we can't do better, whereas we actually got some really cool people that can. Amazing.
I love that with really cool people in your TA team. What do you do around that then? What's sort of the culture of your TA team, and how do you get them motivated to really do something different and a bit brave?
I think there's sometimes the hard stuff, right? You got to have the right structure.
Yeah.
You've got to have the right people. But it's not about forcing people into necessarily job titles. Actually, it's for us. It's about recruiter experience or TA excellence. Is the right roles.
Yeah.
Creating the right environment to thrive in.
Yeah.
Strong leadership, of course, but you got to make sure you got the right capabilities, and that capability is drawn down from what does our strategy need to look like? What does the future of our workforce look like? Our people and culture piece. What does our future patient base look like? And drive skill gap analysis. So all those great things rolled up into true accountability that allows the team to feel connected with what they're actually trying to do. It's the why. The how is the easy stuff, right? And we've got automation and tech stacks and the great stuff, but why the hell am I doing this every single day?
I love that. You can overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Or why am I getting out of bed? I absolutely love that. So one of the things I see in your sector, and I'm no expert by the way, but is the attraction of healthcare professionals. Little bit of a different market pool, little bit of different in terms of behaviour. So how are you going out to market to, one, make their life easier when they're applying, and two, create a world-class experience for them?
And that's the journey, right? And that's where some of the the challenge can be. So we're really lucky. We've got that NHS linkage. We've got that real strong history, that synergy, and we've got all the great stuff. But as a CIC, a not-for-profit company, we've got the opportunity to sometimes do things a little differently in terms of our process. We are not trying to feed a load of shareholders with a load of cash. Actually, what we're trying to do is deliver the very best service for our patients, and that comes, the best for your people. Now, that's a change journey, right? And we have to accept that we've not been as great as we can be, but that's the opportunity.
Yeah.
What haven't we done as well as we can? In terms of hitting the market, I think we're in an environment when you pull something down that's almost along our public sector. We believe that we can't have big business or big TA mentality. We will just do things processed the way we've always done.
Same old.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not going to do that. What we're trying to do is create an environment where I want every one of my team that want to smash it every single day. Like, what's the barrier for you?
Yeah.
But we can break those barriers because guess what? I own my policies, I own my processes, and I've got that direct linkage through to business performance and strategy.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the right thing from the up. Hitting the market, that's a different matter because we're trying to do slightly behind the curve what others have done in the private sector, which is tap up that 80% market, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not easy.
As much as we love our colleagues over there in Indeed, they have a place in our hearts.
Yeah.
But about 80% of my heart doesn't necessarily need to work with them. What we're trying to do actually is probably try and replicate what the agencies are doing and actually start to create shared partnerships, shared sustainability, but not through proliferation, actually through talent sustainability, market sustainability, demonstrate those opportunities to share that growth, share that wealth. That's where it's at for me. Now, there's two sides to this as well. We have, high customer center environments or call center environments, but that again is about how do you create talent sustainability or industry sustainability by attracting people to careers. Now, it's obvious, right? This whole stage is talking about it. Let's just do it, man. Let's start doing the why anymore. Let's start doing the how. So for me, personas, segmentation, what do people need from me? That real empathy-based stuff. So what do you need from me to be a success in my business? Can I do that for you? Can I make you that pledge, that promise? No, I can't. Cool, really sorry, I can't do that, but I'm going to give you the best experience, find that out, or I can give you that, or come in with open arms, and let's make sure that journey isn't just admin just 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's see you through your career and actually start to drive talent pipeline, talent segmentation, start to create a workforce for the future. That's the key to breaking NHS challenges.
I love that, and I think certainly with what's gone on in the healthcare sector over the last few years has been huge, and all credit to you. I just wanted to finish with one question that I've been asking people, and it's around AI. Now, we all know it can't take over, but there's a real fear out there. So I'm just interested around AI in TA. What are your thoughts on how we enable it, how we integrate with it, how we use it?
I think, like, it's a tool. Let's call it for what it is, right? It's an enabler. It's going to become a part of our entire existence. It's not just a work thing. You can punch a nail into the wall, or you can get a hammer. What we're trying to look at is what's the next best way for us to determine where that nail needs to go, without all the problems, without all the flaws, the pitfalls, and we maximise our time on the quality stuff, the human stuff that we have to do, because the less human activity which absorbs all of my shit, man, is taken away from me. Will it take my job away? No, like we're looking at multiple products linking on an automation ecosystem right now, and the next thing I'm trying to map in my mind is, if I can't deliver it in my current gig, how through my maturity model I leave in place, can I demonstrate where AI needs to fall in? So I can start to identify my talent needs, I can hit that mark, I can pipeline, I can give all my recruiters all the stuff that they need, but I want to make it as seamless as possible. So if I was a recruiter coming into the market and I got AI, I'd be laughing my head up, laughing all the way down to the bank, man, with that.
Yeah, we're like a similar age, and we wish we had that when we were younger, right?
I'm getting on the phone, man. I'm not writing adverts. I'm not trying to read for a Flesh King Cade model. Like, is this the right language in there? Or I know double check it. I got to triple check it, and then fuck me, an hour's gone by, and I still haven't sent my advert out.
Yeah.
Like, this shit was like 3 seconds. So you're freeing me up to do the stuff I need to do: quality, assurance, get on the phone, engagement, understand what my business needs, get my team developing themselves so they can start taking my job or bouncing on. It's a tool, so let's embrace it and use it properly.
Love that. Chris, thanks so much.
Cheers, man.
I love how you're breaking the market. You're doing some really innovative stuff, and cheers. Thanks
for that, man. Thank you so much.
Cheers. We're here at the RecFest, and we've got Daniel Gallagher, who is from Avanade. What's your position there, Daniel?
So I am the Global Inclusion and Diversity Talent Acquisition Lead.
You will not be able to say that.
No, it's a horrible job title. Honestly, it's like a word full. So effectively, I support, it's a strategy advisory role.
Wow.
And I support our regional TA leads. We operate in 27 countries globally. And I'm responsible for helping our business hit their diversity hiring targets.
Wow. And at the moment, DE&I is massive, and every company seems to be having their own way of doing things. So what's your thoughts on this subject?
Honestly, it's so in its infancy. I went to a roundtable about 2 weeks ago with 20 other companies. There's so many people who want to lean into this, but they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Right? They are confused by the amount of rubbish content that sits on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
There's people who don't have a TA background. They're not recruiters. They have an opinion. It's not really an informed opinion.
So on that then, it obviously is a passion of yours, you're an expert in that. If you're an organisation and you're a TA lead, TA director, what's the starting point to start to implement this?
Okay, so the starting point for me is look at the population demographic data. So in the UK, you would look at the census data that came out last year.
Yeah.
After that, then I'm looking at what is the labour market participation rate for gender, for ethnicity. So I'm able to work out in percentage terms what is the percentage of black professionals in our industry sector. I go another level, which is to look at what is the educational attainment level per demographic that we want to hire in. So it's all good and well saying that you want to hire 50% females into a tech company, but when you get into the detail and you realize it's only 12% educational attainment level, when you look at computer science degrees, that's your target.
Wow.
And that's how you advise the business. You say, right, if this is 12% is the national average, let's go for a 3 to 5% year-on-year improvement instead of going from 12% to 50%. I mean, that's crazy.
It's not achievable, is it?
Yeah.
Amazing, it's true. It's like pie in the sky numbers. That's really, really good advice. So today, RecFest, obviously huge, 5,000 people here. You're loving it, you got a beer. What's the draw for you to come to RecFest?
The opportunity just to have a chat with vendors. One of my main bugbears at the moment are vendors who say they have AI.
Yes.
Right? It's like, seriously, it's just machine learning with algorithms.
Yes.
Because from my perspective, if I like what you're doing as a vendor, and if I think that can help me get to my target, if you say you have AI, what it means to me is it adds 3 months onto the onboarding process.
Yeah.
Because you're being evaluated against the AI ethical considerations that we have as a business. So I'm like, don't mention it in any demos. Take it out of your marketing material. between you and me, we know it's algorithms.
Yes.
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I go around and I'm playing DEI bingo today, which is looking at every stand and every vendor to see if they have DEI on their stand.
Daniel, I bet they're petrified because you are the expert. Daniel, thanks for joining us for that 5 minutes. So tonight, Basement Jacks, looking forward to it.
Well, but I'm not the designated driver, so it's their decision whether I'm here or not.
Daniel, thanks for coming on the podcast. Cheers.
No.